Okay, so today I'm gonna show you guys how to make homemade spaghetti. Not really homemade, but homemade pasta sauce, I guess you could say. So first ingredient, you need spaghetti noodles, salt, tomato paste, black pepper, oregano. I use garlic salt, but you can also use just normal garlic powder if you want. And then parsley for garnish. And then measuring cup, 2 pans, and then your cheese to add on top. So the first step is to fill this with water. I usually just fill it half the way, a little more, just because the water will go down as it boils. So after this to finish filling up. So then the next step is to put this over here onto the stove top. And then usually I put it at medium or high. But for this one, I'll just put it on medium. So while you're waiting for your water to boil, I usually start making my tomato sauce, or my pasta sauce. So just grab yourself a can opener and open this bad boy up right here. And this stuff is really thick, so usually I just take like a little ladle like this and just scoop it all out into the saucepan. Just get it all out. If you need to scrape it on the sides, you can. And this stuff is really thick, so I usually just add 2 cups of water to it. And what I'm gonna do over here is put it to a medium or low-high heat and wait for that to heat up. So while you're waiting for your pasta water to boil and your pasta sauce to boil, you can come over here and just grate your cheese. So I'm using aged Italian cheese to add on top of my pasta for later. I also have mozzarella, but I have to thaw out before I can use it. And that should be enough, because it's just going to be for me, so that should be a single portion. So as the tomato paste is heating up, don't forget to mix it just to get those chunks out of there. I'm using a fork, but you can use a whisk or even like a ladle or something just to mix it up. But I'm just getting a fork in there just to mix up all those chunks. Like, see, there's still tomato chunks in there, so I'm just mixing it around just to get those chunks out of there. So I realize the fork's not gonna mix it up that well, so I just grabbed a whisk and I'm just gonna whisk it around just to mix up those chunks. Okay, so our pasta sauce is starting to boil now, so I'm just gonna cover this up and turn off the heat. Now that our water is starting to come to a boil, I'm gonna add about half a packet of these noodles into there. And let me just fix that real quick. So as our noodles slowly cook, you just wanna push them down in there. You don't wanna break them, but you just want to evenly make sure that they all boil throughout the noodles. Now that all the noodles are in there and they're not broken up, what I usually like to do is, since this has cooled down just a little bit, I want to add all my spices to it. So you guys might have a different taste preference, but I really like my stuff salty and garlicky. So I'm about to add a whole tablespoon of garlic salt into my sauce. Then just a little dash of salt, and a little bit of pepper goes a long way. Almost forgot, just add like a dash of oregano. And then you just want to mix that all in there together. Make sure that there's no chunks of garlic or spice at the top. Just mix it all in there, get all incorporated into the sauce. As you're done mixing, I just usually put this back on and then turn it on low again. Just heat it while it's going. I like to stir my noodles while they're boiling, just to make sure they don't get stuck or clumped together. And just wait for them to finish boiling. So I also have mozzarella too, but it didn't thaw out by then. Or it wasn't thawed out, but it's thawed out now. So I'm just gonna come over here, grate my mozzarella as well. I'm using the smaller side just because I like finer grated mozzarella. But you can use a bigger side like we did for the other cheese. And I'll take another slice of this and grate it as well. Okay, so after the noodles are done boiling, I'm gonna come over here and you can slowly do it, but I usually just like to get it done and over with. Just add your noodles into a strainer. And what I like to do is just shake it like this. You can also add like a little bit of cold water to it. Strain it while you're doing that, just to cool it off a little bit. You don't have to add cold water to it to strain them, but it helps them cool off just a little bit when you're straining them. And then just shake it like that. Toss it around a little bit and just add it back into there. Yourself a little bowl and just add your noodles back into that bowl. And then you can come over here with your pasta sauce and just slowly add it to the top of that. Okay, and then now for the final part, adding your cheese to it. So I just usually just scrape it all into there. Just a little knife, just scrape it all into there. I usually like to give it a nice little mix just to melt all the cheese and stuff into there. You don't have to if you want, but I just like having my cheese melted into my spaghetti. Just add as a little garnish, I just do a little bit of basil. Just sprinkle that over the top. And boom, there's your final result. Now for a little taste test. 10 out of 10.